And welcome once again to the Shadow Gallery. I am, as always, your host, James Donnelly. And we're going to continue. This will be part 2 of our four-part series of the pre-Nolan Batman film franchise. Last time we did the original 1989 Batman, and I told you why that movie sucked. Now I'm going to do Batman Returns and tell you why that movie mostly sucks. Okay. So you'll have to forgive me. I had oral surgery a couple days ago, so my voice may be a little. I can't open my mouth that wide. So anyway, I'll try and be as clear as I possibly can. So Batman Returns. Now, despite that, by the time that 1992 had rolled around and Batman Returns was coming out. And I had gone back, and obviously I had watched the Batman film a couple times, and my love for it turned to a complete derision and disgust for it during that 3-year time frame. I was still really stupidly excited about Batman Returns, because I was hoping that this was going to be a different film. It was going to be different from the first film. It was going to have a higher production value, which is not to say that, because really the main part of the first film, the two parts of it that I really enjoyed very much were Danny Elfman's score. Did an absolutely iconic score that's still used to this day with Batman animation, or at least was used a great deal, and Anton Furst's art direction, which I don't know if he won or was just nominated for the Oscar for, but anyway, neither here nor there. The second film. Okay, so we have a trio of villains. We have the Penguin, we have Catwoman, and we have Max Schreck, played by Christopher Walken. Danny DeVito is Oswald Cobblepot. Michelle Pfeiffer is Selena Kyle. Now, the film starts to go off the deep end almost immediately with the the attack on the mayor and everything like that, and just all that kind of bullshit. And although one of my two favorite shots of the film which is a totally needless actual mechanism, but it's just cool to see, is when the bat signal goes up, and then it reflects off of different parts of Wayne Manor, to the room that Michael Keaton is sitting brooding in. And then the big light comes on, and he stands up, and it's right behind him in all of the bat signal glory. That was cool. That was a cool shot. But with just all of the craziness of this, the circus of crime. That admittedly does sound like it's something from the comic, but again, we have Batman rolls into town. Selena Kyle is, she's not the kind of strong female that she is in the comic, nor is she, that we see in, most of the comics history, nor is she, Frank Miller's hardened dominatrix prostitute. She is a milksop of the secretary, um, and she it's just it's just ridiculous. And we meet Max Schreck, played by Christopher Walken, with a great deal of relish. He's my favorite thing about that film. Uh, just his everything about that character I enjoyed. Um, and then you have, of course, you have Penguin, Danny DeVito basically being Danny DeVito. Um, you got Batman charging into town. That whole stupid sequence where he's fighting the circus of crime, and you got the one guy who's he's blowing the he's doing the fire breath thing, and the Batmobile actually gets up on it raises itself off a little platform that comes out of its back. It turns around. It takes about 30 seconds to rotate fully, and then of course he revs the jet engine, and it blasts that guy into flames. Again, another murder essentially, by Batman. Then another murder occurs later by Batman when you've got where he takes the bomb, the little the bomb, all the dynamite sticks tied together, and he slips it onto the really big, fat, burly clown that he's trying to beat the crap out of, and then pushes him like down a whatever, and he blows up. So I mean, murder. That's not Batman. Batman doesn't kill. Admittedly, Batman has allowed some people to kind of wind up being the victims of their own circumstance. But even, but he's never, except in the very beginnings of the comic, yes, Bob Kane had Batman killing, but Batman was more like he was more like the Shadow in those days. The Shadow killed people. Okay, he was very unapologetic about it. So Batman did, at some point in his incarnation, in his earliest incarnation, did kill. But we went beyond that when the character actually evolved, and thank God that it did. Now, then of course, Max Schreck, he pushes Selina Kyle out of the window. She falls like about 30 stories to what has to be her death, and then all of these cats come in, basically lick her back to life. And the Penguin, of course, when he's born, his parents, one of his parents, even played by Paul Rubens, aka Pee Wee Herman, decide that he's so malformed and so apparently psychopathic, even as a child, he actually eats the family cat, that they float him down, they just drop him in the water and he floats downstream, and of course, whatever. So the plot of the film is just ridiculous. Again, it's, you see a little bit more strength in the character of Bruce Wayne, but still, again, a total lack of mobility when he has the suit on. He has, some of those moments with Selina Kyle, and Selina Kyle, as Catwoman, kind of having her, she's no longer the mousy girl. She is, she's Catwoman. Life's a bitch, and now so am I. And it was just like, okay, why can't we just have a strong female character who decides to do this, as, at least Frank Miller tried to create that. And what I'm assured that Chris Nolan is going to create with Anne Hathaway in the next film. So we have this transformation. Again, basically what we're doing is it's the Burton freak show all over again. And he even said this. I mean, he said, all of my characters are freaks. Penguin, obviously a physical freak. Batman is a mental freak. as well as something of a physical one. Uh, Bruce Wayne again, just kind of mumbling and just annoyingly, frustratingly, having a date with Selina Kyle, the new improved Selina Kyle, and and the Penguin just basically being like the horniest person on the face of the planet. Basically, that apparently is all that's on his mind throughout the entire film, until his plan backfires and he wants to kill everybody. And that's when the Penguins with the missiles strapped on their backs, and it's like, what? And the another of the film's, it's not a saving grace, but one of the film's graces is that Daniel Waters pairs up with Sam Hamm, who also co-wrote the original film, and gives it a bit of Daniel Waters' flavor. Daniel Waters, at the very least, co-wrote. I think he co-wrote or completely wrote the film Heathers, and so he has good comic sense, and there's a lot of good one-liner moments in the film. A lot of them belong to Danny DeVito. Some of them belong to Christopher Walken. And the half-baked attraction between Batman and Catwoman is so forced that it's beyond any kind of real sentiment. The potential romance between Bruce Wayne and Selina Kyle is incredibly forced, because I don't believe that these people would be attracted to one another. Well, I believe that Bruce Wayne would be attracted to Selina Kyle, but I don't think that would be reciprocated by Selina Kyle, especially the kind of, again, new and improved Selina Kyle, the more aggressive Selina Kyle. Just thinking about the one line that Walken has, if she tries to blackmail me, I'll drop her out a higher window. It's just, that's the kind of line that just it cracked me up real much in that film. And then that whole kind of framing Batman for for murder, and the bloody Batarang, and Batman's remote controlled Batarang. It's like, what? But it did have that really cool shot where, okay, well, he's about to go off the roof, and his this like 300 pound, I mean, it's got to be at least probably 150 200 pound harness of metal wings fly up, and so he can glide down. That was a cool shot. I was really impressed by that, but at the same time, the practicality notion is like, huh? And that's why I'm glad that we have a film like Batman Begins that explains, okay, this is the kind of suit that he has, this is the kind of cape that he has a grappling gun that's going to allow him to raise and lower. He has this car, he didn't build it himself. Again, I'm getting off topic, because this is about the pre-Nolan stuff, the bad stuff. Like I said, I could watch this a lot. I could watch this before I'd ever watched the first one again, because it does have some moments of at least good dialogue, I thought. The direction, the set design is incredibly cheap. The miniature work, again, really poorly shot, as it was in the first film as well. And it's just, it ends up being just a complete mess of a film. And of course, here's Batman revealing, okay, I'm Bruce Wayne, I'm Batman. Because I'm trying to save Selina Kyle from being a bad person, from trying to kill Max Schreck. And it's just stupid. So anyway, that's all I've got to say about Batman Returns. That movie is about a 3 out of 10, as opposed to Batman, the original Batman's 1 out of 10. So that's it for the Shadow Gallery for tonight. Like it, dislike it, argue with me, whatever. But just have something to say, okay? See you later.